Okay, I'm not sure if you picked up on it or not, but earlier I was having a little trouble interpreting problem 3. So if we go back, one way of interpreting problem 3 is to say if we've got something that's going to be worth $7,000 in 15 years at a 9% interest rate, that's the same as having an annuity of $238.41 for 15 years. Now, another way to read the problem is what's the salvage value at each year. Now we know the salvage value is going to be $7,000 in 15 years. The problem I'm having wrapping my head around is the salvage value of this of this technology actually this low? And again, if we take it at face value, it is, because you'd only have to invest $1,921.77 to get $7,000 in 15 years. So what I did to kind of work the problem the other way was to start right here. So I've got my same function. There's my 9%. There's my 7,000. So I just made a present value as a function of future value for several different years. So in this little space right here, rather than using this 15, I just put a 15 right here. And let me show you a couple other tricks. I'm actually going to delete all this stuff and just start from scratch. So this is a little bit of Microsoft Excel. So I wrote in PF15, meaning 15 years from the future, which in this case is now, 14 years from the future, which is a year from now, et cetera, et cetera. So again, it's the same function. I'm just pulling that value of n from a different place rather than here. So I'm not using that anymore. Down here, I'm pulling it from, again, just the number 14. Now to make this easier without having to type everything, all I did was type these first two numbers, and from there I can just grab this lower corner and drag it all the way out to 0. And Microsoft can, once you set up this integer pattern, it'll follow it. I'll grab these two and drag it all the way out. And that's just the label. And here, what I want you to notice is that B12 is an absolute reference. It's always going to reference B12. B10 is also an absolute reference. It's always going to reference the cell B10. The relative reference is D15. There's no $sign in front of it. So it's just going to, when I go ahead and drag this guy, again, I just put the mouse in that lower right corner, drag it out, and lo and behold, I get to that $7,000 discount value in 15 years, just using the present value as a function of future value. So, and again, and it could be that this is the missing piece of information, like what's the thing really worth right now? It's got to be more than $7,000 if it's only worth $7,000, because everything degrades. I mean, this is kind of also assuming that the PV system never degrades, like it actually is making just as much energy per unit time as it always has. So yeah, there's a couple subtleties here. So I'm going to email Alan Fraser right now. That's just another way to interpret the problem, and I'm not even sure it's 100%, so I'll get in touch with him. All right. Let's make sure we've really hashed out all these week 2 issues. It is week 3, and I'm going to let you dig into that. Another thing I want to say is it's pretty easy to get frustrated on this stuff and get angry and upset with yourself if you don't understand it, or get upset with Alan Frazier for not explaining it that well. I see a lot of value in it. It does force you to think these things through and really say, gosh, is that really the right number? It also gives us a lot of opportunity to discuss it on the discussion board. So I will have good explanations for the first at least 2, hopefully 3 weeks. By next week, like I said, Alan's going to dig out his solution set, send that to me, and we'll take it from there. This is a good course. It's not easy. It's not easy to teach. It's not easy to learn. But I really do think once we've wrapped our heads around all these concepts that we're gonna come out with some really valuable knowledge. So thanks for hanging in there, and I'll see you guys next week.